Hey, good evening. It's James Black here, aka Producer James, and I'm with my new friend and Habs Tonight co-host JD. JD, welcome to your first pregame on Habs Tonight. How you doing?
I'm doing well. How are you, James?
I'm doing pretty good, and we're actually doing this because, there's a lot of reasons we do it. We love the team. We want to be talking about the Habs. You know, for a team that's doing what it's doing this year, which is a lot of stressful stuff for us fans. It's still. When it comes to Saturday nights, I can't help but bringing up the lineup. I want to like, I can't help myself. Like you have a new sense of hope, I guess, on Saturday nights, especially for a home game. People are at the Bell Center. I know Nick's at the game tonight. JD, tell me, after all these years of watching the team, do you still feel on that Saturday night the same feeling that I get, that anything can happen? A season can turn around with a great Saturday night performance.
Saturday night is Saturday night. It's hockey night in Canada. It's a tradition. It's something that I've been watching for 5 decades. So you can't shake that off. It's something that's in you. If you're Canadian, if you're a Habs fan, you've seen all the Stanley Cups, you've seen the glory days, and you've gone through some pretty sad days too, right? And so Saturday night, there's always hope. And the players will tell you the same thing, right? They're playing at the Bell Center on a Saturday night. Every player from every team wants to do that. They want to experiment that.
Absolutely. And, I was looking at the Stu Cowan posted today, top attendance in the league is at the Bell Center. So I know that some markets are still trying to bring a crowd back in a post-COVID world, or at least transitioning COVID world into the buildings. I know I was at the home opener. The place was packed to the gills. I assume tonight's going to be, Saturday night, Montreal. There's no better place to be than the Bell Center, even if the team is struggling. And we know that the team is having a historically tough start to the season. I can't think of a time in recent history. I think historically the worst comparable era is maybe the 95 season. And even for me back then, that's coming off some winning hockey, and then, the mid 90s, and there's a bit of a dark period. But
and we know
JD,
where that led to.
Yeah. So here we are. Again, we try to focus on the positives on this channel, and we'll welcome anyone. We're going to be on for about half an hour tonight. If you want to come on the show, it's Habs tonight at gmail.com. JD and I will be here. We'd be happy to chat. Also, just hit us up in the comments. There's a lot of chatter already here. I'd love to hear what you think about tonight's lineup, what you think can happen tonight. Talk about the matchup. It's Predators are at the Canadiens, and what I've been told, with no amount of great authority, but what I've been told is that the Predators have actually been in Montreal for several days and nights. So JD, you've been to Montreal. I've been to Montreal. I would have a hard time spending 2 or 3 nights in Montreal, not at least getting into some form of entertainment or trouble.
Oh, trouble, yeah.
Whether it's karaoke or, there's many good bars, there's many good places to eat, maybe even just having some bad diet, that can affect you on the road. Do you think that we have a home advantage tonight? We can come back in here and actually get a win under our belts, despite all of the things that we saw the other evening with the Pittsburgh Penguins.
Well, there's some pros and cons to that, right? I mean, they will be rested, but they could be rusted too. So Montreal just played on Thursday. Actually, they should be fairly rested, because the effort wasn't necessarily at its best. We've heard from Marc Bergevin the last couple of days. Actually, he spoke to Pierre LeBrun, and he spoke to Eric Engels also today, and he's not satisfied with that either, with the effort level. Actually, he called it a non-performance actually on Thursday. So I'm expecting that they'll be coming out in front of their fans, and they'll be chomping at the bit a little bit, and I'm expecting a better effort. I mean, so far this season, although it hasn't been going well, after a bad performance, they've always seemed to have been able to bounce back with a better effort the next game. We think of the 3 games against, the 5-1 loss to Buffalo, and there's a couple more performances like that where they really didn't show up. And after that, they came up with a much better effort. So I'm hopeful anyway, and the fact that Anik will be there and screaming at them if they don't perform, that should give them a big push.
That would motivate me if Anik was there, and I want her in my life just every day, getting on my case to get stuff done. Not that she isn't already for some of this. And hey Evan, hey Zachary, hey Claire, everyone who's watching. I'd love to have you on the stream tonight. I know it's been a tough slog. Even here at Habs tonight, we had to bring in some new manpower and some new friends to help us put out some more content, which we know you guys love. So that's awesome. And again, JD, just so that people know, you're not in Montreal. You're not even in Ontario, where some of us are, or New Brunswick. You're in BC. So you're a BC guy. You're a West Coast correspondent.
Well, I was actually born and raised in Sherbrooke. I lived there till I lived there for the first about 25 years of my life, actually. And then I moved to BC in 1992. I moved to the Okanagan Valley, to Penticton. And we bought a retirement home here in Nakusp in the central Kootenays 2 years ago. And that's where I make my home now. Beautiful
part of the world. I know it a little bit. And, I've been there many times when I lived out west, and it's, you know what, it's worth a visit. When you're done with Toronto or Montreal or whatever, go to Nakusp and go check out the central interior of BC. It's unlike anything you've seen. All right, so let's look at the lineup real quick. I know I've invited a special guest. I got a couple special guests here joining us, but nothing too crazy. We've got Toffoli, Suzuki, Caufield on the top line. Caufield's now his second game back from his assignment. We're going to talk about that in a minute because it's a very controversial isn't the right term. I just think the whole Cole Caufield situation, just sort of in a microcosm, is what people are struggling with this whole franchise around, which is, how do we develop players? Are we putting them through the right situations for success? Are they going to be ready for the big show when the time is right? And that to me is a really interesting topic we'll get to in a second. Drouin, Dvorak, Anderson, that's a line you expect to produce. Obviously, Drouin's start to the season was really nice. Now we're hoping that there's a little more after that injury, and hopefully he's getting his game back. Armia, Evans, Gallagher. And then most interestingly, you see that there's a little space. We got 7 D-men tonight. So Paling and Lehkonen, they're going to be rotating guys around. They're going to be doing some interesting things, hopefully, on matchups. So what do you think about the 7D lineup tonight, JD? Like, what's that telling you about management and Ducharme's strategy going into this particular game?
I'm not a fan of it, to be honest with you, but and that's why teams don't do it very often, right? For one thing, is it, but there's pros to it, and I can see why he's doing it. For one thing, is he wants to generate more offense. So instead of rolling 4 lines, he'll roll 3 lines and insert Paling and Lehkonen in periodically. Okay, and what this allows them to do as well is to better gauge the players that are performing on any given night, like tonight, and then utilize those players a little bit more, perhaps, and sort of punish those who don't play quite as well or don't give the effort anyway. As far as the defense is concerned, I'm sure the defensemen don't like it, but what it allows to do also is the Canadiens are not happy with their defense so far. Okay, their defensive play and the way their defense is moving the puck and so on. So having a 7th defenseman, Wideman has been not great, but he hasn't been the worst of the team either. So having him in there as a right-hand shot, helping with the power play, is a good thing. But then the main thing is they want to give Matthias Norlinder a shot. They want to see what he can do. He did extremely well in the first game, and so now they want to see if he can do it 2 games in a row.
Absolutely. I couldn't say it better myself. They got to give the guy a look, and time is running nigh. All right, well, I'm going to kill the lineup for a sec. We'll talk about Monty in a minute if we have to, but we need to bring in a Nick, because she's actually there at the game. So I'm just going to add her to the stream if we can hear her. And Nick, what's up?
Oh, how's it going, guys?
Good. And I'm going to bring, while you're there, I'm going to bring Damon in too. And I'm going to introduce Damon in a minute. Hey, Damon.
Can you guys hear me?
Good. Yeah, we can hear you, Nick.
Perfect. Yeah, I'll just give you.
We can hear Madame Bibeau too.
Yeah, Madame Bibeau is in mid-season form right now.
Yeah.
Yeah.
There you go.
What's the vibe? What's the vibe in the building tonight? First of all, those seats are. Is that your seat?
Yeah, we're literally a row behind the visitors bench.
Wow.
My visitors bench is
Wow.
right there.
That's
So,
a nice view.
Yeah, it's pretty cool.
Wow. That's amazing.
Nice mask.
Yeah, it's perfect, eh?
Yeah. Positivity mask. That's perfect.
It's hot as balls in it, but it is what it is.
Yeah. No, so look, Nick, what's the
what's
vibe
that?
there? How are people feeling? Because we were pushing that anything can happen on a Saturday night. Is that the sense in the building? This could be a big turnaround. We got a nice young lineup tonight.
Honestly, from what I'm hearing, everybody's just like, what the hell? We're here. Let's just enjoy the time we have. Maybe we'll see a different team tonight. It is Hockey Fights Can't tonight at the Bell Center. So I'm hoping that whoever's giving a little momentum speech is going to boost these guys to play well and to perform well for everybody here. The ceremonies are going to be awesome for that too. It's always a special night to be here for Hockey Fights Can't tonight. So honestly, so far it's looking to be a packed house. It's Saturday night at the Bell Center. It doesn't get any better than this, right?
Exactly.
Right. Yeah. Now, Damon, for those watching, Damon's actually going to be on our post-game show tonight. He's one of our new co-hosts. And Damon, just what kind of energy are you feeling going into this game after that 6-0 drubbing from the Pittsburgh Penguins?
For me, I definitely think it's going to be a better game. I definitely think that against Nashville, we have to follow a specific piece of games. We have to follow the right matchups. I'd say Jake Evans' line needs to be matched up against Matt Duchene's line, since Matt Duchene has been very good this year.
Yeah.
He's been just under a point per game. We really need to shut Matt Duchene's line down and make sure that we can keep Nashville's offense at bay, and also keep Roman Josi at bay as well, as he's probably one of the best defensemen in the league. So
yeah,
it's sort of my key to the game plan, keep them shut down. And of course, Montembeau's going to have a good night, just have that feeling as well. And hopefully Caufield can get his first tonight this season.
Yeah, he just needs to shoot it from the side of the net. No straight on shots, just from this. And Nick, have they've done their warm up skate now, right? Or have they not done that?
Nothing yet. Warm up should be in about, what time is it? Like in about 10-15 minutes or so.
Yeah.
So looking forward to see the type of energy we're going to get. I don't know if you talked about the lineup yet since I just logged on, but it seems like we're going with 11 forwards and 7 defensemen. So Wideman's going to be taking Pizzetta's place. Sorry, Madame Bibo's picking up the speed here with the piano, so it's a little bit harder to hear you guys. Yeah, so we're looking like Pizzetta's out and Wideman's going to be taking a spot. So obviously I'm a little disappointed because Pizzetta's my guy and I was looking forward to seeing him play. So are they coming out? No, but okay. I was going to show you guys if they were coming out here. Because literally where they're coming out is like here.
You're going to get Caufield to sign your jersey?
That's a goal. No pun intended.
Yeah. Gold Caufield, the legend himself.
But they'll probably be meeting Amanda Suzuki between intermissions. She texted me earlier to come say hi, so we'll try to see what that happens during the first intermission as well.
Sorry, who are you meeting?
Amanda Suzuki, Nick Suzuki.
Oh, yeah, Nick's mom. Yeah, we've talked. She's a future guest on the show. Absolutely, we love Amanda. And, yeah, can't sing her praises enough. That's awesome.
For sure.
JD, when's the last time you were in the Bell Center?
Oh, I want to say 2014, actually. So it's been a while.
Yeah.
And it was an exhibition game against the Florida Panthers. So
Oh, boy.
I haven't been to a regular season's game. I've been to the Forum many, many times, but the Bell Center only once.
So how did the two compare other than just the size? I mean, I never got to go to the Forum myself, but those old buildings, I remember in Winnipeg when I lived there, they just, you would be right on top of your person in front of you and you could almost fall onto the rink if you didn't, if you tripped on them.
You dropped your popcorn and someone was swearing at you. They didn't know who they were swearing at, but basically you had to be careful. You didn't want to reach for your beer or anything like that. And the thing is, if you went to the Forum, I've been there during the playoffs too against Boston, and you have Boston fans up there and people drink and oh my God. Yeah. And as soon as there's a fight starting, you're concerned that someone's going to be thrown over, land on the ice.
Yeah, a little scrap here and there. Those don't happen as much anymore unless you're in Philadelphia. I notice every season there's usually like a good scrap in the stands in Philadelphia, but those people are hardcore.
Do we,
Well, go ahead.
James, do we have a starting lineup yet? I haven't checked Twitter, so I haven't seen what's what.
I didn't see John lose, but we did put one up to start the show. Projected lineup was Toffoli, Suzuki, Caufield, then Drouin, Dvorak, Anderson,
Okay.
Armia, Evans, Gallagher, and then the incomplete fourth line of Paling and Arturi Lehkonen. So I guess they just roll hard on three lines, and then I don't know. See matchups as Damon. Damon, what do you do in this situation when you're missing a forward?
For me, I sort of try to when I read it's in this situation. What I try to do is I try to look at what kind of situation you have, and let's just say it's a defensive situation. I might play Armia on the fourth line as well and give him more minutes because he does have that chemistry with Lehkonen. Of course, the Finnish chemistry, which they might even be a line at the Olympics. Who knows right now? And also, defensively, like I might try to match those three up, maybe against another top line on Nashville, maybe like Ryan Johansson's line. That's one thing I think we could do. But if like it's an offensive situation, you might you could easily put Toffoli or Caufield there maybe for a bit if you're trying to generate some offense because those three are good on the forecheck and responsible defensively.
Yeah.
So yeah, they give you so many options, and the other team doesn't fully know what you're going to do, which is a good trick to have in the bag.
Tricks in the bag. Okay, well, I promised everyone I wanted to talk a bit more about Cole Caufield. So we put up a couple polls on our community page here on YouTube, LinkedIn. Jeez, and the overwhelming sentiment, and I'll try to bring it up here, is that the club should have held off in bringing him back. And last game, the eye test was he fit back in the lineup. He looked, as well as anyone could have. I know Nick and I have talked about this, but was there any benefit in bringing him back this soon? I know there's a lot of other players, younger players in the lineup, but was there any real benefit to bring him back this soon when things are just not good, for lack of a better term?
In my opinion, I would have, I know I was against sending him down, and then I was forced, it's a mix of emotions, obviously, but in my opinion, I would have kept him down there for another couple of weeks. He was just starting to find his groove. He was just starting to get back into it, and then you bring him back into an atmosphere where it's negative energy right now, and the guys aren't doing well. But he was also a positive aspect from the last game, which was absolutely horrible. He made some good plays. Him and Norlinder were absolutely terrific to watch. Terrific watching skate. Norlinder's an absolute amazing skaters. So I'm kind of wondering, will it be beneficial for us to have Cole Caufield tonight in a better mindset? But in another part, I'm also saying, is it actually worth it bringing him up when he was just finding his groove? So I don't know. It's kind of like a catch-22 in my situation.
Yeah, our fans gave us a 65% vote for no, keep him in the AHL. And 35% was yes, he's NHL level. He should be playing with his colleagues at that stage of the game. So JD, what do you think? Are you happy to see him back and think you'll have a better night tonight?
And Nick and I spoke about it actually in a show on Sunday night, Autour de la Ligue, and I feel like although he did play a pretty good game, you could see that he was generating something. He did finish the night at -3. Now, plus minus, you got to give and take, right? You don't judge a player with the plus minus, but it still means that he was on the ice for 3 goals from the opposition, 3 of the 6 goals. Personally, I would have liked for him to stay there. We Habs fans, we tend to, be up and down about the development. We've been putting the Canadiens down about their developments, especially for bringing them up too soon. And now that we decide to send some guys down to the minors, we're complaining about that too. At some point, they're trying something different. They're trying to develop them more at the AHL level. And I like this move, actually. I like having him gain confidence at the AHL level and work on his game. It's not true that at 20 years old, you don't have anything to work on. Those who think that, the day that you stop progressing is the day you start regressing. So he has stuff to learn in the American League. I would have liked to see him there until Christmas at least.
Yeah. What harm would it have done, right?
Well, he's not hurting the team. Don't get me wrong. He's not hurting Montreal.
No.
I'm thinking development.
Yeah. Again, I guess in one of the theories was that people saw him last year and then could scout him this season. And I'm wondering if you had just let him off a few more weeks or even a couple months in the AHL, and just people would kind of lose track of him. And again, that's a really rudimentary way of, it may be a disrespectful way of looking at scouting in the NHL, but, just let him get his game back. Maybe he can retool a little bit or add a couple things where, when he does re-enter the NHL, he's not, the same guy doing the same stuff that everyone looked at ad nauseum on tape over the summer and kind of shuts down now. And to me, that's one of those things where you just give him the benefit of time. What's the rush? We're not, going to come back probably at this point, quarter of the way into the season. And I believe we have the 25% of the available points to us through those 25% of games. So not a great start. And I'm sure, Damon, I'm not sure if you crunched the numbers on that, but I'm not sure if that statistically puts you pretty much at a zero chance of playoffs or what.
Yeah, pretty much it's like maybe a 10% chance if everything throughout the rest of the season goes right first. Because I do remember Derek Weiss said this on Crushing Cans. If you're not in by American Thanksgiving, there's a 90% chance you're not into the playoffs. So there's a 10% chance we do make it, but a lot has to go right for us. But yeah, it's hockey. You never know. 2019 St. Louis Blues lost in the league, and then they won the cup at the end of the year. But you just never know with this team. This team's got a lot of resilience, and they're not giving up yet.
Yeah, different team though. I think a little more veteran.
Just a friendly reminder. I know I keep saying this, but St. Louis was actually dead last in January, and they ended up winning the cup. So.
Yeah, and I mean, Jordan Bennington came in, and that was sort of an unknown that changed the whole fabric of that team's season. But
Carey Price is going to come back in.
Have you seen him yet? Is he there at the arena?
I wish. Honestly, haven't seen anybody yet. It should be another 2-3 minutes before they start practicing.
Okay, we got to keep you on until they skate out. That'll be a good natural exit. But
I mean, for you guys.
Sure. Yeah. I mean, do we have any predictions as far as when Carey's coming back? Right. I mean, we can look on this channel. We say Carey Price. People listen. They want to know. Based on, again, the state of the goaltending situation, Montembeault, and obviously Caden Primo, not a sustainable pairing for the next month, right? Like, can we admit that that's going to be really hard on everybody to have rolling out as our goalie pairing?
I think right now it's going to be a little bit difficult because they're both really young goalies, and I don't know if I'm the only one with this kind of hot take opinion that could, if everything goes right with their development, I could see that potentially being our goaltending tandem of the future.
Mm-hmm.
But I don't know if it's necessarily fully sustainable for the next month unless some guys come back. But someone I've been praying to see in the NHL is Michael McNiven. Like, he's been played really well in preseason and pretty well in the AHL. But I hope that we do get a chance to see him at the NHL level this season with all the injuries to our goaltending.
Yeah, McNiven is Nick's. She's just dying for him to hit the ice. Him and Pizzetta would be like her dream game. Yeah. If Michael Pizzetta and McNiven come out.
I was so disappointed when Pizzetta was out tonight because he's been getting a few decent shots, but he's just a spark plug, and right now we need it. So I don't see the benefit of having Chris Weidman as your fourth liner right now. Maybe it's just me, but I don't know. I don't see the point of removing it from the lineup right now.
Yeah. Well, is Pizzetta sort of is he in the mix for the rest of the season, or at least for the foreseeable future? What piece would move him out, Byron, or what do you guys think?
That's a tough one.
Yeah.
You can't predict Pizzetta. You can't predict Pizzetta, but what you can predict, though, in my opinion, I think that if McNiven ever gets a shot at the NHL, it won't be in Montreal. I think the fact that he sort of exposed the team a little bit publicly, I think, and then again, Nick and I spoke about it on Sunday, but that's a big no-no. Players don't like when you put them on the spotlight publicly, but teams hate it. And so I think that he shot himself in the foot there. That's why he didn't get called up. And, one of the reasons anyway why he didn't get called up, his numbers in the AHL aren't that great anyway. And since he opened up about it, he's been awful for the Rocket. So he hasn't been performing well. So if you put
Poor
your
guy.
if you say something, you better start producing, and he's not doing it. So unfortunately, I think that once Carey Price comes back and Allen is ready, I think Montembeault, they'll try to get him through waivers if Florida doesn't pick him back up, or someone else in dire need of a goalie. I think that you'll see Primo and Monty in the AHL, and then either McNiven will be traded, or he'll be loaned to another team, or he'll find his way to Trois-Rivières.
I think that was my main thing, is that if, like you said, if Carey Price comes back, you're obviously going to keep Carey and Jake Allen there. But that's why I wanted McNiven to come off, is to at least get the chance to showcase himself. That way, if he does get traded, at least we do have a little bit of a portfolio for him to say, like, this is what he's capable of, and this is what we could get for him. Because right now, he's only playing in the AHL. Like, I don't know, I'd rather have him have the opportunity to come up and have NHL teams look at him,
Yeah, I agree.
Yeah, no, I mean, at this point, he's still an asset, right? So you're trying to do what you can with it, but okay. Oh, what's going on there?
I have Amanda Suzuki here.
Oh,
Yeah.
oh, hey Amanda, how you doing? That's awesome.
Just hold me out for a second. I'll come back in.
Okay, cool. Yeah, we got a few more things to talk about. Okay, I'll So Damon, real quickly, so you've come to join us as a co-host, and you've been watching the team diligently over the last few weeks. We haven't really heard much from you. We haven't had as many shows as we usually do, but yeah, I mean, we were just opening the show asking, this is Saturday night. It's a chance with a quarter of the season behind us after tonight to possibly turn things around. Do you get a sense here that we're plotting a course to a better quarter of a season here, or are we just in a death spiral? Like, what's your honest take on where we headed in this game? Seems like a pivotal time of the season already.
For me, I do think things will get a bit, I don't know how much better, but I do think things will get better once guys return from injury, such as Price and Edmondson. I know he was skating today, which is very good news, but I don't know when he's going to make his debut. But Edmondson's someone who makes Petrie a lot better. And Petrie, we all know, like, he's been frustrated over this course of so far the first quarter of the season. And I think once Edmondson returns and helps out Petrie on that blue line, I think things are definitely going to get better on the back end for us.
Yeah.
For me, I don't think it's going to be like a death spiral this season. I definitely think that this team's definitely going to come with some fight once the guys that are injured return. And you never know. It's like a lot that can happen in hockey. So that's sort of my take on it right now. I think things will get better once Price and Edmondson return from injury.
Yeah. I mean, that's been the sort of the underreported story, or maybe at this stage not so much. I mean, just the laundry list of injuries has just been daunting. And at some point, you just have to give in and say, look, you can criticize Berg for maybe not meeting some of the talent or bringing it into the organization to replace what left. But then you go and look, okay, let's look at KK for a second. Is he lighting up the league? I mean, is he all of a sudden becoming the player that we thought he could be? And I don't know. Last time I checked him, and you can support me on this, is I think he had 3 points.
Yeah, I think you're right about that.
Yeah, he's on pace for 16 points this year.
Yeah. Incredible, right? Yeah. So, and not to throw any salt in that wound, it's just based on the body of work of what he had produced to that point in the summertime, he wasn't worth $6 million. And so they kind of made a smart choice. And I guess you go back and go, okay, well, did they have to give up anything and do something to bring Dvorak in? You had Paling and Perreault and others that could fill in, but the situation is that at any given point in time, when you're in Montreal, you have to put out an NHL caliber team, and you need to put out a team that can maybe make the playoffs and then do something, because you have Carey Price and you have maybe don't shoot me, but maybe Shea Weber coming back after LTIR. We just don't know. So we look at the situation. You can criticize the moves, but at the end of the day, maybe the assets that were in hand in the summertime were just not there to do anything groundbreaking to make this team any better. And it's just injuries. That's the point. The injuries have been really the albatross around this team, and you can't really criticize much and do, I guess what we always talk about at this stage when the team is struggling is, do you consider coaching changes? Does the GM have to go? And, I would espouse that patience is pretty much your only option, because a lot of these contracts aren't really movable, and nor do you necessarily want to disrupt when you don't know what the complete team is. But you guys have any quick thoughts on that before we get
I agree.
a neck back here. Yeah.
I agree with you. I think those calling for Duchene to be fired, I don't think it's going to happen. They're already paying Julien, right? And Julien earns something like $5 million a season. I think that's the last year of his contract, and they're still paying him. They just signed Duchene for 3 years. So unless a new GM comes in with his man, as long as Bergevin is there, I don't think that he's going to do anything. And even today, he did say to Eric Engels that, trades at this time of year are very difficult to do because especially with the flat cap the last couple of years, everybody's against the cap. So you're trying to move money out. You're going to have to bring money in anyway. So the closest you get to the trade deadline, the easier it will be to move assets.
Yeah, no, absolutely. And again, make a couple moves here and there now for what end? To lose 4-0 versus 6-0.
Like I was just gonna say, like the thing with my opinion on this team right now is that I've always saw this year as just a step back for next season to be 2 steps forward for this team.
Say that again, Damon. I missed that.
Oh, like my personal opinion on this year is that I think I expected a step back this year, but I think next year will be 2 steps forward with this team right now.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah, and I'll just remind people that Damon will be on the post-game show tonight. So whatever happens tonight, he'll definitely expand on some of these thoughts. And Nick, you still there?
Yeah, they're about ready to come out in about 2 seconds. I can see Preds on the other side. The light just went on, and they're coming down the tunnel soon.
Cool. Because you're gonna show us the players skating out, and then we're gonna sign off for the pregame because I know that everyone's got to get their
I think they're coming right now.
for the
Hold
game.
on, I'll just turn my screen around here.
Awesome.
Well, should be any second, of course.
That's okay.
Right there.
You got the guy, jiggling the sticks. You know that guy's once he's out, things are happening.
Yeah, he's like Wayne Gretzky of equipment managers.
They'll be wearing lavender too, right? Because it's Hockey Fights Cancer tonight.
Yeah, the purple, yeah.
So I can see the lighting in there, yeah.
Yeah, those lavender shirts are looking absolutely beautiful.
Yeah. They'll be auctioned off too, right?
I think so, yeah.
Yeah.
So are they wearing a jersey, a special jersey?
Carey Price and Shea Weber's one that was autographed in the authentic section.
Yeah.
So those are already autographed. So here we go.
Oop. Nice.
Brendan Gallagher, Larmia, Ben Sherratt, Josh Anderson. Yeah, we see them coming out.
Wow.
Beautiful sight. Hey,
Pizzetta's taking warm up.
Yeah.
Okay, Jordan Sabah is an actual beast. Holy crap.
Yeah, he's a big dude. Wow, that's exciting.
Hey, Michael McCarron, Habs legend.
Yeah. Yeah, I miss McCarron. All the fights he got into in his time in Montreal. He had no fear of dropping the gloves. Big Mac.
Nick Cousins
he got in a little scrap the other night, but he got his, he didn't not win that fight.
Yeah, he got destroyed
by the way, Nick Cousins plays on the power play for the Predators, right? You know that?
Yeah, he's a good power play guy. Especially with redirecting the puck. He's gotten quite a few goals back when he played with us, redirecting the puck. So, yeah, I like Cousins. He's someone I actually miss.
Yeah. Well, we'll see how the power play and the PK do tonight. PKs can only go up from here. And, the power play, we've got maybe some more tricks up our sleeve with Cole this game, second game back. And Nick, any final thoughts before we sign off?
Go Habs, go, baby.
Go Habs, go, baby.
Go Habs, yeah.
Enjoy your game.
Yeah.
And don't talk to sports tonight. Anyway.
Okay. I might have not captured. Yep. There we go. 2.
Cole Caufield
I got you.
scores tonight.
Prediction
Scores tonight. Yeah.
Cole Caufield scores. Okay. Well, JD, it was a pleasure to have you on tonight. Damon as well. We'll see you tonight. You and Shane are going to be doing a post game Saturday night. So everyone go get your pop and chips. Get your favorite micro brew. Maybe if it's Torque Brewing, if you're somewhere in Manitoba, we definitely love that brewery. And here's hoping for a win. Here's hoping for a great start to the next quarter of the season. And those Hockey Fight Cancer jerseys look awesome too. So if you can support that in any way, please do. I'm James. That was Damon. That's JD. This is Habs Tonight. Thanks for watching the pregame show. We really appreciate it. And enjoy the game.
Thank you.
Bye.
Bye.